Welcome to part 2 of our little section on LScript, and in this lesson we're going to talk about another use for LScript Commander. If you watched the first part of this, you saw we used LScript Commander in order to make a macro to save time. And we're going to do a similar thing here. We're going to use it to make a macro to save time, but it's a really sneaky little trick, is that we can use LScript Commander to make keyboard shortcuts that you couldn't make ordinarily. And what do I mean by that? Let me just give you an example of something you've done 1,000 times if you use LightWave, and I have too. Changing the anti-aliasing level. I want you to count the number of clicks here. That was 1 to bring up the camera properties panel. 2, I click on anti-aliasing, pick low, 2 or 3, because I have to click again to release it, and then I close this. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, that's 4 clicks, but if you add them up over the total sum of your life, that equals, let me just calculate this quickly, 9 years. So, the whole point here is, I want to have a keyboard shortcut where, bam, I just hit it, and my anti-aliasing level changes without having to go through this whole thing, which isn't that long, but it's longer than I want. So, if you know LightWave, you might be thinking, well, of course you can make a keyboard shortcut to do that, because you can program your own keyboard shortcuts. Let's go to Interface, Edit Keyboard Shortcuts. Let me try that again. And then we could put one in here. Let's just do a text search for anti. Right, there's the anti-aliasing level, okay. Let's assign it to Control A. So now you say, okay, I said you couldn't do it, but clearly I did it. Hit Control A. But this didn't do what I want. So if you think, okay, this is what I wanted. No, this isn't what I wanted, because there's still, I have to bring this up. That was 1 click. Then I have to pick low. Then I have to hit OK. And so that's 3 clicks in order to change the anti-aliasing level to low. I just want something. Let me make the goal really clear here. I want something where I hit a button and bam, the keyboard shortcut instantly changes to low. Hit another one, bam, it's instantly medium or high or off. You see the idea? So here's what we do. This is where LScript Commander comes in. You remember what LScript Commander is useful for? Is basically when I bring up LScript Commander, anything I do shows up down in this window and I can drag it up and create a macro. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see what happens when I do changing the anti-aliasing to low. I'll repick it. Let's take a look down here in our events. Aha, there's the button, anti-aliasing 1. Let me try medium. It's anti-aliasing 2. Okay, so anti-aliasing 1, I can tell through simple induction here. I can look and see that means anti-aliasing set to low. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a little 1-line macro and install it. And call it AA low. The name is in there. It doesn't, by the way, let me just point out, this isn't psychic. This is, when I was setting up for this demo, that's the name I called it to make sure this would work. So it's already typed in there. I'm not going to go through the process of typing it in again, but just so you know, that wasn't some kind of weird magic going on there. So anyway, I hit the button. Here it is. Here's my new button. And all this does, let me just show you, is if my anti-aliasing setting is, like for instance, off, normally wouldn't have this panel up even, but I just want you to see. Click on this. It's instantly low. There we go. 1 button does what I want. I don't have to go through all of this and then hit OK or whatever. And if you assign a keyboard shortcut, I'm hitting Alt F9 to configure keys. What you will notice is, if I do that text search again, I'll search for AA. There it is. There's AA low. I'll assign it to Control A. And now, once again, I'm just doing this to show you, when I hit the Control A keyboard shortcut, instantly changes to low. And so that's a real simple example, but what we've done is we've used LScript Commander to make a simple 1-line executable macro, so we can then assign it to a keyboard shortcut and thereby save 9 years off our life. So there you go, and we have more stuff coming up in this LScript series.